Nebuchadnezzar II, a name etched in stone and whispered in history. His legacy is one that has transcended the ages, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of time. As we journey through time, we encounter this Babylonian king, a ruler of immense power and influence. His reign was characterized by grand architectural projects, including the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. His story is one of conquest and pride, but also of humility and redemption. Nebuchadnezzar led his armies to numerous victories, expanding his empire's borders and solidifying his place in history as a formidable military leader. We find his tale woven into the fabric of the Bible, primarily in the book of Daniel. His interactions with the prophet Daniel reveal a complex character, torn between his earthly power and the divine messages he received. Nebuchadnezzar's reign marked a pivotal period in the history of the ancient world. His contributions to the development of Babylonian culture and infrastructure were immense, leaving a lasting legacy that would influence generations to come. He expanded the Babylonian Empire, bringing nations to their knees. His military campaigns were not just about conquest, but also about spreading the influence and culture of Babylon far and wide. But his story is more than just military campaigns and political intrigue. It is also a tale of personal growth and transformation, as he grappled with the responsibilities of leadership and the weight of his own ambitions. It's a deeply personal journey of a man grappling with faith, pride, and the undeniable presence of a power far greater than himself. His dreams and visions, as recorded in the Bible, offer a glimpse into his inner struggles and ultimate realization of a higher power. Through Nebuchadnezzar's experiences, we witness the consequences of unchecked ambition and the transformative power of humility. His eventual downfall and subsequent redemption serve as a powerful narrative of human frailty and divine grace. His life serves as a potent reminder that even the mightiest rulers are subject to a higher authority. Nebuchadnezzar's story is a timeless lesson in the balance of power, faith, and humility, echoing through the corridors of history. Nebuchadnezzar ascended to the throne of Babylon, inheriting a kingdom already mighty. But he was not content with mere inheritance. He craved more. Power coursed through his veins. He envisioned an empire that would dwarf all others. His armies marched across the land, conquering city after city. His name became synonymous with strength. His enemies trembled before the might of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar had become the Lion of Babylon, feared and respected throughout the ancient world. His ambition knew no bounds. He transformed Babylon into a city of unparalleled splendor, its walls adorned with intricate carvings, its gardens teeming with exotic plants. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, stood as a testament to his power and grandeur. But amidst this outward success, a storm was brewing, a conflict that would test the very core of Nebuchadnezzar's being. The kingdom of Judah, with its capital in Jerusalem, stood as a defiant obstacle in Nebuchadnezzar's path to ultimate power. Jerusalem, a city sacred to the people of Judah, represented a challenge to his ambitions. He laid siege to the city, his armies surrounding its walls. After a prolonged siege, the walls of Jerusalem crumbled under the relentless assault of the Babylonian army. The city fell, its treasures plundered, its people scattered. Among the captives taken to Babylon were young men from noble families, including Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. These captives, despite finding themselves in a foreign land, held steadfast to their faith in God. Little did Nebuchadnezzar know, these captives would play a pivotal role in his life, leading him on a path of spiritual awakening and ultimately redemption. One night, as Nebuchadnezzar slept, a dream troubled his mind, a vision so vivid, so unsettling that it shook him to his core. He saw a colossal statue, its head made of gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron and its feet of iron mixed with clay. The statue stood tall and imposing, but then a stone, not cut by human hands, struck the statue at its feet, shattering it into pieces. The king awoke in a cold sweat, his heart pounding in his chest. He demanded that his wise men interpret the dream, but none could provide an answer. Frustrated and angered by their failure, Nebuchadnezzar threatened to execute them all. It was then that Daniel, the young captive from Judah, stepped forward claiming that his God could reveal the meaning of the dream. Section 5. The Fiery Furnace, a Testament of Faith. Nebuchadnezzar, in his arrogance, demanded that everyone bow down to a massive golden statue he had built. This statue, towering and resplendent, was meant to be a symbol of his unmatched power and authority. This was a test of loyalty, a way to consolidate his power. He wanted to ensure that his subjects were completely subservient, willing to follow his every command without question. He expected everyone in his kingdom to worship him. To him, this act of bowing was not just about the statue, but about his own ego and the control he wielded over his people. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, 3 young men from Judah, refused to bow. Their defiance was not just an act of rebellion, but a profound statement of their unwavering faith. Their faith lay with the one true God, and they would not betray their beliefs. They believed that their loyalty to God was far more important than their fear of the king's wrath. Furious, Nebuchadnezzar ordered them to be thrown into a fiery furnace. His anger knew no bounds as he saw their refusal as a direct challenge to his authority. The flames roared, their heat intense enough to consume even the strongest man. The furnace was stoked to its maximum, ensuring that no one could survive its deadly embrace. Yet, when the king looked into the furnace, he was astonished. Instead of seeing the men consumed by fire, he witnessed something extraordinary. The 3 young men stood unharmed, and with them, a 4th figure, shining like an angel. This divine presence was a testament to their faith and the power of their God. This display of divine intervention shook Nebuchadnezzar to his core. He had never witnessed such a miraculous event, and it made him question his own beliefs and power. He realized that there was a power greater than himself. This realization was profound, challenging everything he had believed about his own supremacy. But would this realization be enough to humble him? The story leaves us pondering whether such a powerful ruler could truly change his ways and acknowledge a power greater than his own. Section 6. Whispers in the Night, the Second Dream. Time passed. Nebuchadnezzar, despite witnessing firsthand the power of the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, allowed pride to creep back into his heart. He had seen miracles, yet the allure of his own achievements clouded his judgment. He stood on the roof of his palace, surveying the magnificent city he had built, boasting of his accomplishments. The grandeur of Babylon, with its towering walls and lush gardens, was a testament to his reign. "Is this not the great Babylon I have built?" he proclaimed, his voice echoing through the night air. "By my mighty power and for the honor of my majesty?" His words were filled with pride, resonating through the silent night. But his words were met with silence. The city, usually bustling with life, seemed eerily quiet, as if holding its breath. And then, a voice, soft yet firm, whispered in his ear. It was not a voice of this world, but one that carried the weight of divine authority. It was a message from the God of heaven, a warning that his kingdom would be taken from him. The words were clear, leaving no room for doubt. Nebuchadnezzar, consumed by his pride, ignored the warning. He dismissed the voice as a mere figment of his imagination, a trick of the night. He continued to rule with an iron fist, forgetting the lessons he had learned. His authority was absolute, and he believed himself invincible. But the words of the dream lingered in the back of his mind, a haunting reminder of the power he had defied. They echoed in his thoughts, a constant, unsettling presence that he could not shake off. Section 7. A Fall from Grace. As foretold in the dream, Nebuchadnezzar's mind became afflicted. Driven from his throne, he lived as a madman, wandering the fields, eating grass like an animal, his former glory a distant memory. The weight of his pride, the consequences of his actions, crashed down upon him. The once mighty king, the ruler of the most powerful empire on earth, was reduced to a shadow of his former self. The man who had sought to exalt himself above all others was brought low, humbled before the eyes of all who had once trembled at his name. Nebuchadnezzar's fall from grace serves as a stark reminder that pride comes before a fall. No matter how high one climbs, how much power one accumulates, a greater force can bring everything crashing down in an instant. Section 8. The Return of a King. After a time, Nebuchadnezzar's sanity returned. Looking up to heaven, he acknowledged the sovereignty of God, realizing the source of his true power. He who had once been consumed by pride, now embraced humility. "Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and exalt and glorify the King of heaven," he declared, his voice filled with newfound humility. His heart, once hardened by pride, now overflowed with gratitude for the mercy he had been shown. Nebuchadnezzar, restored to his throne, ruled Babylon with wisdom and justice. He acknowledged the power of God, recognizing that his own strength was fleeting, but the power of the divine was eternal. His story, a testament to the transformative power of repentance and the boundless mercy of God. Section 9. Lessons from Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar's story is a powerful reminder that true power lies not in military might or material wealth. It lies in acknowledging a higher authority, in recognizing that we are not the masters of our own destiny. He changes times and seasons, he sets up kings and deposes them. Daniel 2:21 reminds us, we are all accountable to a power greater than ourselves. Nebuchadnezzar's life, a testament to this truth. His journey, a valuable lesson for all pride leads to destruction, but humility paves the path to redemption. No matter how far we stray from the path, no matter how great our transgressions, there is always a way back to grace. Section 10. A Higher Power. As we reflect on the life of Nebuchadnezzar, we are reminded that we are all part of a larger story, a story that extends beyond our earthly existence. We are all subject to a higher power, a force that governs the universe. Nebuchadnezzar's tale encourages us to look beyond ourselves, to acknowledge the divine presence that surrounds us. It reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from earthly pursuits of power or possessions, but from aligning ourselves with the will of the Creator. Let us learn from the example of Nebuchadnezzar, embracing humility, seeking wisdom, and acknowledging the power of the divine in our lives. For in doing so, we find true purpose, lasting peace, and ultimately, redemption.